Beep beep, everyone. Alright, instead of doing vintage stuff like I had been doing in my previous videos, we're going to do something brand new. Well, it's been out for a couple weeks. I saw these at a Target while we were out going to some estate sales. And these were $49.99. Got them off the shelf. I believe they're selling these on the Target website. I don't know if they're exclusive to Target. I didn't look that up. These have the 1952 design, Topps Chrome Premium Anniversary. These are from 2021. You could probably go out and figure out why this took over a year to come out. I'm not going to worry about it. I saw other videos of this on YouTube, and I was like, I got to get some of these. I thought they looked really cool. 4 exclusive Prism Refractor parallel cards per box. So let's get into opening these up. So I'll put this one on the side here. And we'll just try to do this without knocking the camera over. Alright. And there's our packs down there at the bottom. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 9 packs, 4 cards per pack, 36 cards in a mega box. Move that off to the side. And let's try to get into this. Oh, before I continue, let me see if I can get this down here. Of course, nothing's quite working out when you start filming it. Okay, if you want to pause your video, you can see what the odds are. I'm not going to go over them. That would take too long. My videos that I've done so far are already pretty long as it is, because I seem to go on and on about players that nobody seems to remember anymore. These are more modern players. I stopped following baseball during the steroid scandal. Like a lot of other people during the pandemic, I got reinterested in baseball cards and reinterested in the sport. So my knowledge of newer players is pretty slim, so I may go over these a little faster than you'd like. But I'll try to do it in a timely enough manner so that you can see what the cards look like. Okay. Alrighty. Keston, you're going to have to help me out with the pronunciations. I'm more familiar with players from back in the 80s and 90s. Keston Hura, I'm presuming. These look really nice. They're really shiny. Sorry about the glare, but you move it around and there's a lot of glare on that. Hall of Famer Gary Carter. This is one of the things that interested me about this set, was the old timers, retired players, former Hall of Fame players, and newer players in the same set. I really like that they do this. The backs look just like the 1952 set. You can see that here. They're only showing the last 3 years of his career and lifetime numbers. And these little tidbits are very similar to what I remember growing up. That'd be like one sentence that doesn't tell you a whole lot, but it's enough to go, oh boy, this guy was great. 1 of 5 catchers with 3 straight 100 RBI seasons. 1 of 4 players ever to be named captain of the Mets. So that's the kind of stuff that's on there. So Hall of Famer Eddie Murray. And we got some kind of blue thingy. Al Kaline. Blue sparkly thing. So that's really nice looking. I did not look up what kind of parallels there are in this set, so we're going to wing it. Videos are more fun when you wing it. At least I think they are. At least I enjoy watching videos where the presenter has winged it. I know some will be like, well, you should have did your homework. Well, I'm not in school anymore. I'm tired of homework. This looks really cool, though. It's not numbered. Al Kaline was a really great player. And I'm mostly used to opening wax packs, so this is the first time I haven't opened up foil cards in many years. Okay. Alex Vesia? Sorry, Alex, if I messed your last name up. William Contreras? Rookie card. Roger Clemens. Not sure if he'll ever make it into the Hall. We'll just leave it at that. We know he was doing something or other, and that's why he's not there. And Sam Huff. I probably need to get faster at opening these, or you spend most of the time watching me just open. Let me get this off the corner down here. Great. Hall of Famer Johnny Bench. Great catcher. Great catcher. The last thing I remember of Johnny Bench was a game he played against the Phillies. I grew up in the Philadelphia area, so we watched Phillies games. If you remember Channel 29, if you're from the area. I remember one game he was facing Steve Carlton, and he hit 2 home runs on Carlton. And it was at that point that I think Harry Callis had mentioned that Johnny Bench really, really was a tough hitter for Carlton to get out. And his home runs were basically line drives that just went over the fence. He hit them that strong. Great catcher. Max Kepler. Shun Yamaguchi. Inoli Paredes. I hope I pronounced that right. Sorry, Inoli, if I didn't. And I think today's word of the day is going to be sesquipedalian. And I have to use it in a sentence. So I had a bowl of sesquipedalian wheat things or bricks. Hall of Famer Willie Stargell. That looks really cool. That picture was definitely from earlier in his career. Great player. Great player. Rafael Devers. I do know he's a really, really great player. He's having a great season this year. Patrick Weigel. Waggle. Clayton Kershaw. Now, I've heard of him before, even before I got back into collecting cards. And I know he's had quite a really good career, and it's probably an easy Hall of Fame induction down the road. So if you think I'm going too slow or something, you can leave a comment. Maybe I'll try speeding them up. One of the points of this channel, I think, is I see a lot of videos out there where people just go through the cards so fast and you can't really see them. And I like looking at them. I don't care what they are, common cards or not. I like looking at the designs. I think the designs are important, and a lot of people spend a lot of time putting these designs together, and I think they deserve some recognition in that sort. I'm going to try to keep it going quickly, but I'm going to be slower than other ones. So if you get bored, hopefully I'll say something stupid that'll keep it interesting. Evan Legoria. That is, I don't know what kind of a blue card that is, but it's got a lot of really cool speckles. Woo! And that one's numbered out of 199. So that's pretty cool. He's a great player. I don't know him very well. I do remember looking up on Baseball Reference and was impressed with what I saw. Gary Sanchez, Blake Taylor, and Deion Sanders, who I remember from back in the day, had a dual career of football and baseball like Bo Jackson did. I don't remember what his numbers in baseball were. he definitely wasn't a power hitter. They don't really give a lot of numbers on that. I spent a lot of time with fielding statistics on these, and I don't remember what the 52 top sets were. I have a that reprint set that came out in 83 or 84, because that was the only way I was ever going to own 52 cards. They are really pricey today, and even PSA 1s are of like Mantle or tens of thousands of dollars. Edwin Encarnacion. That looks pretty nice. He's a great player. Trent Grisham. Not looking too happy there. Greg Maddux. Great pitcher. I've seen this image before. I don't remember, but he just kind of looks like a professor of pitching, and deservedly so. Quite a great career. And Jazz Chisholm, some kind of a speckly, rainbowy refractor thingy, and I know he's a good player. This is his rookie card too. Not numbered. Alright, we're 11 minutes in, and I still haven't opened up the second box, but this one's not quite working. There we go. And unlike my other videos where I save the wrappers, I'm not saving these. Bo Bichette. Had a great season last year, hitting in the 250s this year, but he might get that average up, but his other numbers look pretty good this year. I think he's going to be a good player down the road. He's the son of Dante Bichette, if anyone remembers him from the 90s off the Rockies. Kevin Biggio, that's Craig Biggio's son. Lee Mazzilli, he was really popular when he first came up. He looked like he was going to be quite a star, but never really did put up the numbers that people were expecting from him. And Tommy Glavin, Hall of Famer. Great pitcher. Part of that Braves starting rotation of Maddox and him and Avery and one other guy, Smoltz. That was like one of the best pitching rotations of that decade. With Smoltzy and him going into the Hall, and Maddox. Avery was the short one on the stick. He didn't continue his performance as long as they did. Don Drysdale, Hall of Famer. Never saw him pitch because he retired before I was born, but I saw him on the Brady Bunch. Couple episodes, if I recall. Justin Turner. Joe Adele. He's happy to be here. Nice to see you, Joe. Lucas Sims. He's not so thrilled about seeing me right now. Last card of the first box. Like I said, these are $49.99, so I'm not going to spend a load on these things. I think it's a 700 card set, so this will be kind of hard to complete. And I'm from back in the days when we used to try to complete base sets. Seth Elledge, Ichiro. Now he's quite a great hitter. He came over from Japan around the time that I just started to fall out with baseball because of the steroids issue. Has the single season record for hits of 262, I believe. I never thought that record would be broken, but you never say never. George Sisler had that record for a long time when it was 257. I can't remember what year he did it. It was in the 20s. Great player. Vida Blue, yeah, I remember him. I remember him though when he was with the Giants. He had some really great years when he was with the A's, with that team that won, that was in the World Series like almost every year for a stretch of 4 or 5 years, I think. Great pitcher. And Steven Strasburg is our other kind of reflecting, sparkly kind of prismy thingy. Okay. And I'm not sure what kind of a player he was. Let's have a look at it briefly. 112 and 59, 319. So I'll keep him in that pile, look him up later. Maybe he'll go on my PC. Alright, box number 2. Let's try to open this up without knocking the microphone and the camera over. Alrighty. Okay, 9 more packs of this. Drop that on the floor. Let's see what we find in here. And even though this is an expensive product, I think what you get in them, you probably break even. I have seen single common cards of this set on eBay going for anywhere between $1.49 and maybe $1.99, and with 36 cards, if you take the higher price of that, you're breaking about even. Daniel Murphy, so where you make it up is probably inserts and the star cards. Mitch Moreland, another Deion Sanders, and Miguel Sano. I'm not sure who Miguel Sano is. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, Miguel. We'll put that in the good pile because it's blue and sparkly and makes me feel like getting into the washing machine and going for a spin. Taylor Jones rookie card. I don't know who that is. Pedro Martinez, I definitely do know. He's a recent Hall of Famer and well deserving of it. Had a great career with the Red Sox and later on with the Mets. I think he started with the Expos. Another Greg Maddox and another Lee Mazzilli. So we're in our second box and we're already getting duplicates. Bill Mazurovsky, a latecomer to the Hall of Fame. He should have been in there a lot longer ago. Great player. Retired long before I think he was retired before I was born. Chris Bubik, if I'm pronouncing that right, rookie card. Shannon Stewart. And Jim Palmer in one of these reflecting thingies, Hall of Famer. He had, 8 seasons of 20 wins, which is something you're not going to see very often. See right there, averaged 19 victories with a 2.52 ERA from 69 to 78. Yeah, that kind of stuff doesn't happen anymore. Pitchers these days are much more specialized. Very few of them pitch past the 6th inning. And back when I first started following baseball, they were normally getting about 15 complete games a year, often pitching well over 200 innings. Some of them pitched well over 300, and some of them even completed over 20 games. And if you go back into the 70s and look up Wilbur Wood when you get a chance, I think he had over 380 innings pitched one season. John Kruk, now I remember him. He was a great hitter. Short career, not sure why he retired when he did. He probably could have played a few more years. Most notable for having this long mullet in the back, and his baseball cap is really clean there, but it used to be pretty dirty during the game, covered with sweat stains and dirty fingerprints and what have you. Great player. Funny guy from what I remember. Joey Lou. You're going to have to help me with this, Joey. Lucchese. You're going to have to help me with that one. If you know how to pronounce that, leave a comment. Another Joe Adele. And another Lucas Sims. So we're getting a little more duplicates than I would expect. I guess the sorting didn't go as well. Alex Cobb is one of these blue, sparkly, with some greeny and yellow things when you move it around. I think that's another one out of 199 card. I'm not familiar with Alex Cobb. Okay. Mike Trout. Well, this definitely helps make out the cost of this box. Any one of his cards that I've been seeing is usually like in the $5 or up range, even for the base cards. So that tends to cover the pack when one of them shows up. Great player. I think he's got a back injury right now. I understand his rookie cards have been dropping in price since then. Maybe I might be able to get my hands on one because it seemed like a card that was well out of my price range. Lonnie Smith. Oh my goodness. I remember Lonnie pretty well. He came up with the Phillies, was a pretty good hitter. The Phillies really made a mistake with trading him. He had some really good years with the Cardinals and later with the Braves. Good hitter, good fielder. Could have been possibly Hall of Famer if he had gotten the chance to play more and play more regularly. I think a lot of teams platooned him. He's in a long list of Phillies prospects that got traded when they were young and ended up being great players. The other two that come to mind are Julio Franco and Ryan Sandberg. And another Vida Blue. You think with 700 cards we would have a little bit more variety, but I'm running into more duplicates than I expected, especially with just 4 cards in a pack. Giancarlo Stanton. Not sure I know too much about him. I know he had a lot of home runs 1 year back. I don't think this will show it because it doesn't go that far back. Got 38, but I thought he hit over 50 in one season. But he looks like he's a pretty good player, but he's been struggling during the pandemic years. I think he's doing better this season. Pete Alonso is a great player. Nick Neidert. Nick, if you're there, help me pronounce that last name. Rookie card. You look like you are focused on something in the distance, and I'm not sure what it was, but it could be a herd of ironing boards crossing the field. And Zach Greinke, another one of these sparkly thingies, making a face like he's trying to... I'm not going to say that. Like he's having problems with a bowel movement. Poor Zach. See, even though you might think this might be a boring video, every now and then I'm going to mention something about bowel movements or people riding around in washing machines or some other such nonsense. Goose Gossage. I do remember him when he was with the Yankees, but prior to that he was with the White Sox and then signed a contract with the Padres. Bounced around a little bit after that. Well deserving of the Hall of Fame. One of the early relievers that made the reliever an important role, the closing reliever I'm talking about. Raleigh Fingers was probably, Hoyt Wilhelm was probably the first major one, and then Raleigh Fingers, and then the next generation were pitchers like Bruce Sutter and Goose Gossage and Dan Quisenberry, if anyone remembers him. Great pitcher, well deserving of the Hall of Fame. Joe Torre, I think he's in the Hall. A lot of people don't remember. He had a great playing career too. He had one really great year in the 70s. I don't know if he got the MVP that year. I think he was with the Cardinals, but he's probably more well known for all the years he managed the... they have him with the Yankees here, but he was a Cardinals and A's manager for many years and made it to the playoffs much more than a lot of his contemporaries. Shun Yamaguchi, we've seen him before. And I'm assuming that's TJ Antone. TJ, help me out with that name. Rookie card. Okay, something important on the back there. Adalberto Mondesi. Anyone know if he's related to Raul? It doesn't say back here. I'm not really familiar with him. Zach McKinstry. Willie Castro. And I really think this is an autographed card. Justin Morneau. Because it has a different back on it. Yep, autographed. Justin Morneau. I'll have to look him up. I think I've seen his name before, and I think he was a decent player, but I don't recall now. I mean, there's so many. If you go back all the way back to the 1860s, there are a lot of players to remember that were great players, and I just don't remember. So that's pretty cool. A little bit of card stuff, we'll call it. Card fuzz. So we got an autograph out of here. That's pretty cool. That's something we didn't have back when I was a kid. They started doing that in the 90s, and they were really hard to get. I forget which company started. I have a feeling it might have been Upper Deck. Last pack, Ryan McMahon, Kyle Hendricks. Mark, you have to help me with that last name. Melancon? Melanson, maybe that's a SEC. And Marcel Ozuna. I think I got that right. Another one of them sparkly doodads. So there weren't any Aqua Wave ones. Well, that's got a kind of a printing line across it in the middle there. So even with these flashy cards, I think that's what that is. See it running across the middle there, right through his neck. And it's even on the back. I don't know if you can see. You might be able to see it there. You see it a little bit there? There's like a little reflection. So I don't know what that was. Maybe when these things go through a press, there's some kind of a rubber wheel that goes across the cards to keep them, in position. Maybe that's what that's from. I really don't know. I know a little bit about printing, but that's mostly with books. But cards probably aren't too different. So that wraps up this video. I guess I'll put that one in the nice pile. I don't just put Hall of Fames in my nice pile. I put anybody that I find interesting. Semi-stars, as Beckett would call them. Players that were from my childhood that I remember, even though they weren't stars, we were fans of them. Any kind of thing like that goes into a PC. I don't just focus on hits and Hall of Famers, and so that makes my collection, a bit overgrown, and it gets rather large once I get around to putting it together, because right now it's basically sitting in lots of boxes, and I'm about ready to start loading them in the top loaders and start cataloging it, which I think is probably going to take many months. So I'll quit yakking away so that you can get on with your day and get to another video or whatever it is that you do. Everyone, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. And beep beep.